Welcome everybody. By the authority given in the statutes of the Open University, I declare this congregation open for the conferment of degrees and the presentation of graduates. Distinguished guests, graduates and friends of the university, it's my privilege and pleasure to welcome you to the 9th of the Open University's degree ceremonies being held in 2015. We're delighted to welcome Mark Parkinson, Deputy Chief Executive of Exeter City Council, and Rachel Davis, Principal and Chief Executive of Somerset College, both of whom have found time in their very busy diaries to be with us today. Each year, the Open University awards over 14,000 degrees, and throughout 2015, more than 8,000 of the graduates are being presented for their qualifications at degree ceremonies such as this one today in Exeter. These are being held in 10 different towns and cities throughout England, and also in Belfast, Cardiff, Edinburgh, and Dublin. This illustrates the extraordinary scale, scope, and reach of the Open University. It goes without saying that today is a very important occasion in the life of you, our graduates, of your families and your loved ones, as well as the university staff, who I hope you'll feel have nurtured and supported you. You could be forgiven for feeling that the occasion today is so important that it needs to be solemn, and you'd be quite wrong, because this is a day in every sense of celebration. So we'd be very disappointed if anyone crosses the stage today to anything less than thunderous applause or any other way you choose to express your enthusiasm and support. With that in mind, why don't all of today's graduates briefly stand? Friends, families, and Open University staff, let's start today's ceremony by giving all of our amazing graduates a huge round of applause. Thank you. Today's ceremony will begin with the presentation of those graduates who've gained a higher degree and who've been able to attend here today. They'll be presented by Dr. Madeline Knightley, Staff Tutor in the Faculty of Social Sciences. We'll then continue our presentation of graduates with those who've gained first degrees. To conclude the ceremony, I'll give a personal address to the graduates. So I now call upon Dr. Knightley to present higher degree graduates.
Pro-Vice-Chancellor, I shall now present graduates who have gained higher degrees and have been able to attend today. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, I present to you for a thesis entitled Statistics in Historical Musicology, Andrew Gustar. And for a thesis entitled Designing for Shareable Interfaces in the Wild, Richard Morris. I present to you for the degree of Master of Arts in Classical Studies, Carol Camps. MA in Classical Studies, Joanne Nicholson. MA in Classical Studies, Alexandra Payne. MA in Classical Studies, Margaret Wanless. For the degree of Master of Arts in Education with distinction, I present Karen West. For the degree of Master of Arts in Education, I present David Ballard. MA in Education, Claire Elston. For the degree of Master of Arts in English with distinction, I present John Pownall. For the degree of Master of Arts in English, I present Liz Davies. For the degree of Master of Arts in History with distinction, I present Anne Brazier. MA in History with distinction, Alec Thorne. For the degree of Master of Arts in History, I present David Good. MA in History, Graham Lucas. For the degree of Master of Arts in Online and Distance Education, I present Mike Potts. For the degree of Master of Arts in Philosophy with distinction, I present Rupert Barter. For the degree of Master of Business Administration, I present David Cause. Andy Miller. Jennifer Payne. Stephen Tancock. Henry Tolley. Moses Warburton. For the degree of Master of Education, I present Fiona Henchley. Hilary Hoblin. Laura Horn. Glenda Lewis. Sarah Lewis. For the degree of Master of Science in Development Management, I present Josephine Gunn. For the degree of Master of Science in Earth Science, I present Janine Banthorpe. And for the degree of Master of Science in Software Development, I present Simon Wood. And for the degree of Master of Science in Technology Management, I present Paul Hutchinson. Pro-Vice-Chancellor, we now come to the part of today's ceremony that marks the presentation of graduates who have gained a first degree and have been able to attend here today. The full subject and classification details are printed in the Directory of Graduates. I present to you for the degree of Bachelor of Arts with First Class Honours, Caroline Bagshaw. Sarah Barnard. Helen Bates. Christine Denman. Alison Duff. Katie Flowers. Nina George. Annie Jewell. Tracy Nuttall. Shelley Parker. Wendy Shearer. Matt Sermon. Sally Smith. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours, I present Karen Billing. Becky Brown. Dave Burt. Marion Carbis. Philip Carter. Antonia Cheeseman. Lisa Clark. Michelle Clothier. Carol Cresswell. Claire Dimmond. Catherine Duncan. Rosalind Evely. Arissa Goodman. Terry Gregory. Gemma Hartnell. Laura Hill. Catherine Hodgsman. Martin James Holloran. Daniel Holmes. David Howells. Anne Hurst. Emma Hutchings. Angela Kime. Gareth Kinch. Louisa Kirby. Lorraine Love. Leslie McLaren. Sam Mannion. Christelle Martel. Michelle McNeish. Isabel Mears. Susan Mennell. Emma Moss. Donna Nichols. Lindsay Payton. Deborah Pitt. Martin Robson. Rhiannon Root. David Rowlinson. Rachel Standford. Vanessa Trounson. Wendy Turland. Maddie Varnell. Paul Walsh. Tracy Walton. Karen Weir. Jennifer Whitaker. Amy Williams. Emma Yells. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts, I present Amy Chatfield. Cindy Cowling. Jason Fenn. James Tracy. Julia Zimek. For the degree of Bachelor of Engineering with First Class Honours, I present Ian Eldred. For the degree of Bachelor of Engineering with Honours, I present Darryl Breakwell. Danny Culshaw. Philip Massey. For the degree of Bachelor of Laws with first-class honours, I present Evelyn McIlmoyle. For the degree of Bachelor of Laws with honours, I present Stephen Dark. Roger Whitfield. For the degree of Bachelor of Science with first-class honours, I present Mark Allen. Hal Barker. Michelle Carr. Emma Creasy. Stephen Crispin. Stephen Dorrell. Michael Elliott. Thomas Geneva. Nicola Grice. Jenny Hayes. Andrew Horton. Vincent Lally. Robert Maynard. Karen Scott. Samantha Smith. Nicholas Viner. Jack Watts. Mark Werry. For the degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours, I present Slavka Algaleli. Hannah Ajendi. Eve Bampton Wilton. Russell Barrett. Peter Berry. Simon Bew. Kirsty Boys. Susie Brooke Davies. Anda Brutain. Matt Benevich. Joseph Cayley. Carol Clark. Rebecca Dark. Stu Dawson. Karen Gigg. Jason Gross. Julie Ann Hartley Young. Gareth Hayward. Samantha Heath. Abigail Horrocks. Ian Hutchison. Michelle Inman. Rachel Jones. Barney Keegan. Lois Maynard. Karen Elizabeth McGowan. Michelle Mensing. Anne Miller. Angela Morgan. Sam Moss. Marion Parker. Caroline Richards. David Roberts. Richard Rowley. Simon Saggers. Julie Shandley Edwards. Lawrence Spencer. Caroline Stevens. Julie Storer. Robert Summers. Sally Tapp. Amanda Whedon. Patrick Waite. For the degree of Bachelor of Science, I present Helen Barron. Sean Manuel. For a foundation degree, I present Sally Barford. Caprice Cavill. Coral Dale. Velda Dennis. Claire Elliott. Jane Frabis. Joanne Hext. Melanie McKenna. Dawn Milton. Tanya Noakes. And for the Diploma of Higher Education, I present Julie Gay. Kate Newcomb. Ronald Sambell. Elizabeth Slater. Hector Velázquez Este.
These truly great occasions when we celebrate the achievements of our new graduates, and in such a splendid setting. Exeter Cathedral is a testament to the faith of the people who created it, and here today we're celebrating the faith that our graduates had in themselves to succeed. Behind every one of those hands I've shaken is a story of hard work and determination, and I heard some of that on the stage today. Often overcoming self-doubt, setbacks, or just the busyness of life that threaten to get in the way of wanting to learn and proving to yourself that you could do it. It's not easy being an OU student, often juggling study and deadlines with many other demands. Indeed, I think some of those with you today may well recognise the adage that there's only one thing harder than being an OU student, and that's living with one. We're all very proud of what you've accomplished. It's your achievements that make our university the great institution that it is. We hope too that this is not the end of your journey with us. Do have a look through the memory stick that you'll find in your ceremony tube. We hope to amaze you again about the community that you can stay with for life. Among the people that have supported you on your journey to this point are the university's tremendous staff, our advisors, academics, student services staff, including the organisers of these memorable ceremonies, and our associate lecturers. They've all had a stake in helping you to succeed. So let's show our appreciation again to all of those staff, students and family, staff, friends and family who've helped you get to this ceremony today. One of our distinguished honorary graduates, Bill Bryson, once wrote, "What other nation in the world could have given us William Shakespeare, Christopher Wren, Windsor Great Park, and the Open University?" This is such a special institution, open to all, but with the tough academic standards that you'd expect from a leading UK university. There's no doubt that your success owes a huge amount to the staff whose work we've just acknowledged, and to your family and friends who've seen you through. The staff who've advised you, taught you, assessed you, encouraged you, and of course, designed your amazing courses. But it also owes a huge amount to the vision of the pioneers who created the OU back in 1969. Foremost among them was Jenny Lee, to whom Harold Wilson gave the job of setting up the university, and a woman whose own journey from a Scottish mining community to Minister of State has left an indelible mark on what the Open University is today. We're a university where what matters is not your social class, your gender, your race, or where you live, but wanting to learn. That's what unites us. Not the qualification that you came with, but the qualification that you're leaving with. This is what Jenny Lee said in a speech back in 1971. She said, "It's a complete fallacy to think of the Open University as a working-class university or a middle-class university or a millionaire's university, although there are a few millionaires who could be improved by a course. It's simply something in the flow of our time, simply making the highest levels of scholarship over the arts, science, and technology available to much larger numbers than ever in the past." So you, our graduates today, have achieved the level of scholarship that Jenny Lee celebrates in that speech, through the courage to know that this is possible. Your university, too, is not just a leading teaching university, but a research university as well. Our research enriches what our students are taught and takes them right to the leading edge of their subjects. Our research is also about our innate curiosity as human beings. That's, for example, what motivated our scientists to send one of their instruments on the European Space Agency Rosetta mission to land on a comet 5 million miles from Earth just last November, searching for the answer to how water formed on our planet. And space research has become one of the OU's signature research areas, pioneered by the late Professor Colin Pillinger. On Desert Island Discs back in 2009, Colin summed up his approach to life in terms that many of you will recognize. He said, "There's no such thing as can't." This research also has great economic value, such as the new products and services based on satellite technologies. The huge amount of information that's now sent back to Earth from space is helping to create new businesses and new jobs, but brings challenges about how to analyze what's called big data and keep it secure. Big data is now everywhere in our digital world. Every time we use a swipe card, mobile phone, click a mouse, visit the doctor, or even drive down the road, we're generating data that somebody else is using. Our computer scientists and mathematicians at the OU are using it to solve problems like how to prevent our cities grinding to a halt with traffic congestion, or how we can protect ourselves from the spread of infectious diseases. Our social scientists and philosophers are working on it too, such as how we protect individual rights and privacy. So let me conclude by reflecting on the fact that much is said in these days of fees and loans about the financial return from a university degree, and that's significant in terms of future earnings. But less is said about the social return. Graduates are, on average, healthier and happier than non-graduates, and contribute their new confidence and skills in many ways to society. Universities are about our common good as well as private benefit. Another of our distinguished honorary graduates, Nelson Mandela, said that education is the greatest weapon we have to change the world. By being here today, you've already changed your lives with an OU degree. Put it to good use and show the world what's remarkable about Open University graduates. Stay part of our community and remember those words on our university shield: learn and live. Thank you. Would all of today's graduates please stand? May I ask all of the guests assembled here today to once again express their warmest congratulations and best wishes to you all. Well done. The proceedings of this degree ceremony have been completed, and I now declare this meeting of congregation closed. Would all please stand?